Live. And we are the Coalition, loud and proud, outrage porn-free, civilly disobedient media, broadcasting live on the Worldwide Coalition Network here at the Go Local Live Broadcast Center, deep in the heart of the city we love, the Naked City, Providence, Rhode Island. Facebook.com/The Coalition Radio, on the mighty Twitter at Coalition_radio, and of course, the mothership, CoalitionRadio.us, where links can be found to our YouTube page, our podcast page, and of course our Liberty News page, where we will continue to deliver missives from civil rights and civil disobedience and from civil liberties organizations from across the fruited plain. We've got a very hectic week tonight for you. We're trying to squeeze in, I think, a record 5 guests tonight, in person, through the miracle of Skype, via WhatsApp, via telephone. It doesn't matter. These are challenging times, folks, and I am thrilled to see both the range of causes and the range of community action groups that are here poised to challenge them. So let's get right to it. Perhaps the most important part of the evening is right now. Anyone who's listened to the show knows that one of our longtime sponsors is, of course, the Yacht Club Bottling Company. So while the president may be facing new claims of impeachment because of a whistleblower, while the Fed is challenged over whether it should drop the rate another quarter point, whether Saudi Arabia is literally about to enter into war with Iran, whether or not there's enough money left in the budget here in the city of Providence for the shrimp cocktail budget, for board meetings. These are critical issues, but nothing is more important than a new flavor from the Yacht Club Bottling Company. And this is pretty special. I'm going to taste this for the first time. This is vampire's blood. Yes, it is. Blood orange mango soda. The Zambato family may have finally topped themselves just in time for the most important time of the year if you live in New England. And of course, I'm talking about Halloween, where we celebrate the ghouls and the undead. The ones at the State House and the ones trying to get into the State House. We celebrate that every year because New England is the center of the universe, academically, philosophically, and also, quite frankly, we're smarter and better looking. But what better way to celebrate this than with a brand new soda? So my guest and I, this is Alan Girardi, we're going to try this for the first time. So to the Yacht Club Bottling Company.
Like that.
Oh my God, that is good. Damn. Holy cow. Now people know that I'm a fan of soda, but
I like this.
Blood orange mango. Used from real flavors from blood oranges and mangoes. In fact, I have it on first-hand witness that mangoes were harmed egregiously in the manufacture and bottling of this soda. Which is, of course, of why Yacht Club Soda is your boutique soda in Rhode Island. They were a boutique soda 100 years before we even knew we needed boutique sodas. All right? So I can't think. I mean, this has got Halloween party written all over it.
It does. And you can, as soon as you open it, you can smell it. It's good.
Yeah. Cheers. Oh, my goodness. Again, one of the fun reasons to have a show, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You get to talk to cool people.
Great.
People send you products to sample on the air. Get any better than that?
No, it doesn't.
Alan Girardi, welcome back to the Coalition.
Thank you for having me back.
It's been too long. There's been this kind of quiet time in the last few months where we've the folks at Halitosis Hall, the undead, are lurking in their graves, ever ready to come out and to snatch whatever life forces are left within the Rhode Island business community and people who believe in freedom and individualism. But I digress. But you've got a big event coming up, which is going to speak directly to that. It's sponsored by, I guess, a range of organizations in the Second Amendment community, as well as the Log Cabin Republicans, of which you are the chairman.
Yes, I am.
So tell us all about it.
So Log Cabin Republicans, we are the original and largest conservative group for LGBT and their allies. We are putting on, this is the second year we're doing it. It's Coming Out Shooting, so it's Coming Out Shooting 2. It's going to be Saturday, the 28th of this month at 11 o'clock at the Smithfield Sportsman Club. It's put on by us, the Rhode Island Federated Sportsmen, Big Bear, Mid-State Gun, Second Amendment Coalition, a lot of other We the People. No, I'm forgetting people. But so basically what it is, gun rights. Gun rights are civil rights. Civil rights are gay rights. Armed gays don't get bashed. So the Second Amendment is, aside from it being essential to all Americans, it's pretty much essential to any other marginalized group, victims of violent crime, victims of hate crimes. So this is the LGBT community. We lately, with all the gun grabbing, has, for some reason, the Democrats have managed to sweep a good number of them up in the whole, I guess, frenzy of being politically correct and emotionally driven.
I mean, it was a challenging year last year for the 2A community.
Yes.
We continue to see the degradation of our birthrights, if you will, the right to self-defense. Right, I will point out that is so fundamental to the human condition that in the action of one's self-defense, one can commit, if you will, the most heinous act imaginable, which is take another life. And that our American jurisprudence system, as well as our Western jurisprudence system, as well as most historically, have seen fit to accommodate. We continue to see legislation driven by emotion and tragedy, which is how one gives up one's rights. And this is against the backdrop of first world governments like Venezuela, first world governments like Spain, using deadly force on their population in direct support, if you will, of the logic underlying the Second Amendment. What are the plans this year to fight the good fight, if you will?
I mean, it'd be great if we didn't have to fight the good fight, but we know that there's going to be lots of gun grabbing legislation that they're going to be putting forth, and again, with all the emotions of these shootings, recent shootings that we've had, it's going to be valid. I don't think. I mean, our numbers. I mean, we had over 4,000 at our rally last year. I'm hoping, and I think our numbers are going to grow as well. And the Second Amendment isn't just something that we can change and that we can give to whoever we think is I guess, worthy of doing, whether it be just law enforcement or our military or whoever they send to come and do the gun confiscation, which, according to Francis O'Rourke, is that what he's going to be doing. So.
The LGBTQA community, justifiably, based on, let's just say, well-known, well-publicized events, as well as crime statistics, is perhaps the single largest targeted community for violent crime in this nation, if you look at their percentage of the part of the overall population.
Yes. We are 2 to 3 more times likely to be the victims of a violent crime. Interesting thing, though, is largest group of gun owners in the U.S. is men, followed by women, followed by the LGBT community. We're the third largest group of gun owners that are out there. And I mean, there's obviously a reason for that.
Right. Yet, historically, members of the community, at least overtly, publicly, have sympathized with folks who, and this is one of the great tragic / ironies of our time, the very folks who could be the victims are allowing themselves to be victimized a second time by social pressures not to arm themselves.
Yes, but I think it goes even higher than that, because we have lawmakers who are members of our community, such as our own Congressman David Cicilline, who is advocating for the gun bans, the gun confiscation.
What can you say to, I mean, and David Cicilline is a particularly poignant case. I mean, he's a well-known defense attorney. He has seen the other side, if you will, and lived the life of someone involved in the court systems here in this country. He's seen firsthand the tragedies that can befall folks in the LGBT community. and might I add, at this moment, it is clear that in a number of cities across the country, there are serial killers whose sole target seems to be members of the trans community.
Yes, absolutely.
I think we have to, the word serial killer hasn't been assigned to them by any quote-unquote responsible law enforcement source, but let's be clear here. You have a group that's targeted.
And they're brutal killings, brutal. I mean,
this is beyond the pale.
Yeah. There was 2 weeks ago, there was a transgender woman trapped, forced to stay inside of her car while it was set on fire, and that is how she got. I mean, it's brutal.
Right. And if she were armed,
If she were armed, she would have at least had a fighting chance.
right. And it really is that simple, isn't it? Because I mean, legislation can't impact personal behavior. As much as we would like to write a law, I mean, I shared a piece this week, which is probably, I think you saw it from The Onion,
Yes.
where, and no, I'm sorry, it was Babylon Bee, where Babylon Bee, tongue planted firmly in cheek, pointed out that members of the community who were prone to massive bouts of physical violence were unsure as to whether or not they were going to adopt the new gun legislation as part of their behavior. It was a brutally wicked satiric piece, as on the edge as you can
Yeah.
get, but the point is well taken. Have any of these folks who've been engaged in these homicides, have they apparently been worrying about gun legislation?
I don't think so. We can't even stop people from texting and driving. I'm pretty sure we're not going to stop a criminal from doing something bad.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be part of the, it just doesn't seem to be part of the landscape. So, I mean, organizations like yours, Pink Pistols nationally, and a number, well, countless local organizations have said enough is enough. We are going to arm ourselves so that we can at least have the opportunity to engage in self-defense. And that is what this event is geared to. So tell me about some of the events that are going to be taking place.
It is also, I mean, we should be taking our own personal defense seriously, but it's not just ourselves anymore. I mean, before, it was just, now we have families, now we have children. So we have families to protect. It isn't just us. So it is family friendly. There are actually going to be coaches there to work with our younger, I guess, participants. There's going to be archery. There's going to be other kid events for them. There's going to be, for the adults, there will be safety training. We're going to be going over firearms, what to do, what not to do. Any questions people have about firearms and how to obtain a blue card or a concealed carry permit, what the process is for that. So it's a lot of learning, a lot of instruction, a lot of questions, and a lot of food at the end.
It sounds like a very serious event where people are going to have an opportunity to have a great time. As importantly, it will allow folks to become at least, if they choose not to be engaged with weapons, at least have an opportunity to develop something of a comfort level, as well as a little bit of knowledge geared towards responsible use of firearms. Because this is the key, right? The hallmark of the 2A community in this state is responsible, non-aggressive use of weapons for both sporting purposes, but for active self-defense.
Right, absolutely.
And the level of training that's available to folks is as important, because if you find yourself involved in an event where deadly force is part of the scenario, I firmly believe that can't be the first time that you've seen a gun. If you haven't been around a weapon, you haven't had that chance. Again, you could choose to be a pacifier. You could choose not to do that. That's the implied right of any American, any person by birth. But how important is it for people to at least have some familiarity?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, at least like, I guess a working knowledge of what a firearm is, as opposed to what's you see, I guess, in the mainstream media, what you may see in somebody's, propaganda school commercial, like, to understand actually what firearms are, and not these, deadly boomsticks that are just suddenly going to kill everyone.
Right. Well, give us one more time. Where can people learn about the event?
So you can go to, on Facebook, the Log Cabin Republicans of Rhode Island. You can go to my Facebook page or my Twitter page, which is at Gibberti Allen. And what else? It's going to be at the Smithfield Sportsman Club this month, this Saturday, at the 28th at 11 a.m.
Excellent. And is there a cost to go? Or?
There's no cost. It is absolutely free. Come down and soak up the knowledge.
Or maybe just have a conversation, because
Yes.
I think it's fair to say that Rhode Islanders on both sides of this issue, I think, could all use for a little bit more conversation.
And we're all about the conversation. We would love to have that conversation. We want to talk about, we want to talk about background checks. We want to talk about gun safety. We want to have this conversation. And it isn't just open to the LGBT community, well, the allies as well. So if you're an ally of the LGBT community, come on down.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your continued work. I do want to have you in the next few weeks as we start to approach the legislative season. As always on the coalition, we have both sides of every argument, and I invite anyone who's looking for a conversation, not a shouting match, not hate speak, not insults. This ain't Facebook.
Yes.
To have a
It's not.
conversation to make their point.
Yeah, and like I said, we want to have that conversation. We want to have that discussion. We're more than happy to.
Fair enough. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you for having me on.
All right. Alan Gibberti, Log Cabin Republicans, a warrior within the 2A community looking to preserve the rights and act aggressively to support the right to self-defense of not only folks in the general community, but specifically aiming his efforts at outreach and education and conversation at the LGBTQA community. Good to talk to you, buddy. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break right now. Coming on next is going to be, I think, one of the most important conversations that I will have on the coalition this year. His name is Phil Eden, and he is with Never Again Action Rhode Island. We're going to take just a quick break, and we're going to bring him right on the set. See you again soon.